Sawadee. My name is Sean and today we are making sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, the ingredients are, of course, organic tomatoes, organic garlic, pink salt, some extra virgin olive oil, and finally oregano. Let's make sun-dried tomatoes. Firstly, I'm going to cut the tomatoes in half. You don't need to chop their head or anything, just cut them. Now that we're done, let's sprinkle a generous amount of salt onto the tomatoes. I'm going to dry the tomatoes and garlic in my food dehydrator. So I'm just going to spread all these tomatoes evenly in the food dehydrator tray, and then we'll just put them in there and then wait for them to dry. So I'm just gonna start putting them into the trays. Next, we put these trays into the dehydrator. Push it in there. And now we close the lid. Wrong way? Okay. Now we wait for 24 hours. Since the tomatoes are quite big and meaty, we're going to set the time and temperature a little longer. The time is going to be 24 hours and the temperature is going to be 63 degrees Celsius.
24 hours later.
It's been 24 hours. The tomatoes and garlic are done drying. Now let's take these out and then we'll wait for them to cool down and on to the next step. Tray out. Just place it here first. One by one, just put it on the tray. Make sure the tomatoes are leathery and crispy. Like, they should be around this, like, if you push it down, you can hear a little bit of a cracking noise. That's the perfect one. Okay, if you don't have a food dehydrator, an oven would do just as good, but make sure to, if you're using an oven, only put it in the oven for about 5 to 7 hours and use your minimum lowest heat, and make sure to keep your oven door slightly open. Okay, the other things apart from these tomatoes are 1 liter of water and a cup of vinegar. Yeah. Okay. This garlic is so brown. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm gonna try one. Whoa, these are hard to bite. These are really crispy though. The reason I can't bite into these really easily is because I have a few loose teeth. It's a bit hard for me to bite into these tomatoes. Let's go make sun-dried tomatoes. I've pre-boiled 1 liter of water. Now I'm just going to take the cap off, pour half a cup of vinegar into the pot. And then the tomatoes. Slowly. These are not too heavy so the water won't splatter everywhere. Okay, now we boil it for 5 minutes. Let's set the timer. I'm going to push some of the tomatoes down so to make them fully submerged and make sure all of it is boiled properly. It's been 5 minutes. Now let's strain the tomatoes and put them in a bowl. We lay the tomatoes on paper towels. And by the way, these are not bleached paper towels. And then we wait for them, we dry them. Now we get a towel and then we put them over the tomatoes. We just press on them very gently and then we wait for 1 hour. Okay guys, it's been way more than 1 hour. It's nighttime. And I'm sure the tomatoes are completely dry now. Just look at that, would ya? Look at that. Okay, the next step is to get a glass container that you have. And then you start with putting the garlic inside the jar. Oh, whoops. 2, 3, that's good. And then half a teaspoon of garlic, about that. Of oregano. This is oregano, not garlic. Okay, I'm going by layers from garlic to oregano to tomatoes. So I want to be able to fit as many tomatoes as possible and make them flat so many would fit in. Okay, so I'm going by layers. I'll just go 3 garlics, half a teaspoon of oregano, and then 3 tomatoes. Now that I've finished layering the tomatoes, let's put the oil in. I'm trying to get the air out as much as possible, so I'm pressing it down with a spoon. Finish. Let's put the bay leaf. That looks good. Let's get the cap and close it. Okay, we marinate this for 3 weeks. You can just leave this on a cool, dry shelf away from direct sunlight. Just look at this. I've got 2 full jars of these Italian-styled sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm going to taste it now because my mom has already made some sun-dried tomatoes 3 weeks ago. It's already finished and I'm just going to taste this with some bread and see how it is. Time to taste it. Let's put these tomatoes. Mamma mia, that is good. gonna go back to eating this. I love it. That is good. Okay guys, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. And don't forget to turn on notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.